right, welcome back to the Attack the Rack YouTube channel. This is the Attack the Rack daily lineup show. Today is Monday, September the 30th.
Guys, every family party or social event needs something special. Bubba's Bounce House Rentals LLC can do that for you. They provide inflatable bounce houses and water slides on top of great service in the West Michigan Lakeshore area. Call Bounce Master Sam at 616-485-0257 today and mention Attack the Rack to get $25 off your next rental. Also, find Bubba's Bounce House Rentals LLC on Facebook. Bubba's Bounce House Rentals. All we rent is fun.
All right, and as always, we're joined by Big Mo and Trent. The Tigers did it, guys.
They did.
We've been talking about it now since mid-August when they started to kind of creep up a little bit. I don't think we really thought it was a reality, and as we've, over the next 4 or 5 weeks, we started to realize, holy cats, this might actually happen. And then going into this last series with the White Sox, I thought we were pretty dang confident. They ended up only winning one of the 3 games against the White Sox, Trent, in this last series here over the weekend. In fact, Saturday, Sunday, they got destroyed both games, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Any concern with that?
No. I'm gonna assume that they had a very enjoyable night out after Friday,
Okay.
and they are just kind of relieved, I guess, in a way, since it's been quite the grind for them the last like month and a half or so, playing great baseball and good enough to get them in the playoff, which is awesome. Yeah, I think I wouldn't be too concerned about it. I think they had a wonderful time out downtown Detroit on Friday night and probably enjoyed themselves a little too much.
Oh,
Maybe that lingered over into Saturday and Sunday's games.
Yeah.
And how focused really are you? I mean, they couldn't overtake, or could they have overtaken, right? Yeah. So does it
No,
really matter?
I think they were pretty set and still with just, I mean, the main one was getting over the Twins. So yeah, they're right up in there now too. So that's good.
No, you make a good point. I didn't really think about that too. They probably were they've been, probably so much stress, so much focused.
Yeah.
Can't make a mistake, can't make a mistake these last 5, 6 weeks. And then all of a sudden, okay, we did it.
Yeah.
And then you just maybe lose that kind of momentum, or not even necessarily momentum, but maybe that just desire.
Yeah, it felt like the last month and a half was like must-win baseball for them. So I'm sure that was a mental toll on them as well. So it kind of, I mean, I don't blame them at all. They went on quite a run in the second half of the season. I think they earned that right to kind of just clinch and then just kind of coast it the last couple. But yeah, good for them.
They over the Saturday and Sunday's game, were they still playing their regulars at all, or did they give some September call-ups some looks, or no?
I think Sunday they played everybody on Sunday, I believe. I can check the box score real quick. But I thought I checked on Sunday and they were pretty much playing everybody.
What a I hate to say it, that I mean, but what a bad year to be a September call-up for the Tigers when you're basically getting called up. You're a lot of times when you're way out of the race, those September call-up guys get a lot of innings in. But if you're in a playoff chase, then you're not playing.
Yeah, and I feel like they made a lot of those call-ups after the All-Star break. So the guys that they wanted to call up, they called early on.
I'm talking about how in September you can expand your roster from the 25 to the 40.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
you bring up, a lot of times you bring these guys up to get them some experience in meaningless games. Well, the Tigers weren't playing any meaningless games.
No, not at all. They were in quite the hunt. They catching a couple different teams and bunch of big games against teams that were right up there with them as well. Like the
Yeah.
Orioles, they had two series against them and the Royals. So they were playing almost like playoff baseball for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah. And then now all those guys, they say goodbye to him again because now I think maybe do you get an extra spot or two on your roster for the playoffs, I think, but for the
Yeah.
most part, all those guys now, see you later. We'll see you in March.
Yeah. And I would assume they use most of those for pitching purposes as well. You'd think they'd probably keep a couple
Oh,
of bodies for
yeah.
pitching staff.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, tonight, speaking of Detroit sports, we got Lions versus Seahawks at Detroit. Third year in a row now, the Lions are playing the Seahawks home. Last 2 years didn't go so hot. Um, Interesting for me, guys. I've got Jared Goff. I think I mentioned this last week. Our fantasy football league, we start two quarterbacks. My two quarterbacks this week are Jared Goff and Geno Smith. So I
Oh,
should have some fun watching this game. Hopefully, I don't fall asleep around halftime, a little bit past my bedtime. Um, what do you guys think?
Well, I'm hoping you're hoping for a high scoring affair there, Kurt, huh?
I am, but Lions priority. I'd rather have the Lions win than my fantasy team win.
that's the spirit.
Yeah, yeah. That's very team like of you, Kurt. Very team like.
I know the center's out. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know who his replacement is, but I don't know. I'm hoping they can pull one together. I know the run game seems to be a little bit better than it was last year, hopefully, so they can stop Kenneth Walker because I
Yeah.
remember he just ran all over them last year.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, hopefully the offense starts clicking a little bit, start getting in a groove, scoring in the red zone, um, spread that ball out, and let those running backs do what they do as well.
Yep. I think that's the key. Run the ball, spread the ball, score in the red zone. Well, you do those three things, you're gonna be pretty damn good in the NFL.
Yeah. And Seahawks are coming in undefeated 3-0, but they played Denver, New England, and Miami. Obviously, Miami without Tua. So I don't think that should be too much of a concern, but it's just, and I think last I knew the Lions were a 3.5 point favorite. Um,
It's
Yeah.
jumped to 4.5.
okay. All right. So just just based on how I think we were probably favored the last 2 years as well, especially last year and the year before last year. I think that was still like no one was giving the Seahawks much of a chance that year because their quarterback Geno Smith, who now 2 years later is still their quarterback and has had a couple solid seasons.
Yeah.
Um, but I think we were probably favored. Um, Maybe not betting line wise, but I think based on Geno Smith being their quarterback and us playing at home, I think we were probably favored the last 2 years and not so well. The turnout did not go so well for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, and how the NFL season's been going this year already, you never know what what's going to happen. So it's
I
just
know. We
I don't
we
know.
talked,
It's
we
been
talked
crazy.
about it last week on one of the shows. I mean, look at the scores again, guys. Unreal.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Well, it's like the Buccaneers look like a Super Bowl team against us, and
Yeah.
then they lay an egg the following week, and then they go smack the Eagles this week. So it's just it's very weird.
And then you look at a team like the Saints, who started out the season 2-0, scoring over 40 points in each game, and now they've lost their last two, and now they're
Yeah, now they can't score. So
now, yeah, yeah, you
yeah, it's
know,
quite
and,
the it's interesting.
and the Bears looked so bad, and now they had a pretty nice game against the Rams. At least in the second half, first half was kind of like their MO, like their offense does nothing, and their defense keeps them in the game.
Yep.
And then I think in the second half, didn't I think Caleb Williams had a pretty good stat line, didn't he?
Yeah, he was decent.
Let's see, 17 out of 23, 157 yards and one touchdown. Not
Yep.
great, but very comparable to most quarterbacks in the NFL this season.
Good enough to win. Yeah. And then you got Minnesota. I mean, they almost blew it, but they're 4-0 as well. So
Yep. And Jordan Love came back. I think he had what, 4 touchdowns, 3 picks though.
yeah. he didn't look like he was completely healthy.
Yeah.
Wasn't moving around as well as I thought he was prior, but yeah, it's very interesting year so far.
Broncos beat the Jets at Jets.
Yeah,
10-9 in a barn burner.
it was a
Yeah.
monsoon going on in
Was it?
wherever they were.
Did you see Dix's stat line?
Oh yes.
It was like he threw for like 85 yards.
How about early on? I think he was like -7 yards or something like
Really?
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
negative. Okay, sure.
Throwing it backwards.
And
Sometimes that's better
right.
than throwing a pick, Trent.
That's true. Let's go the other way.
He started out 6 for 11, -7 yards.
Yeah.
Wow. And he
But
threw for a touchdown.
I mean, I'm sorry, the Jets should not be losing to the Broncos at home. They shouldn't be losing to the Broncos, period. I mean, this might be it for what's his name, Robert Salah, their coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe it's
And
time for Aaron Rodgers to let go.
he should actually probably be the coach. How
What was
about
it?
how about um Joe Flacco?
I didn't know he was still around.
I know.
Then he magically just pops up on the Colts and wins another game.
Unbelievable.
How about that coaching though? Richardson runs, gets hurt, sits out for a little bit. They put him back in. First play, they run a run play for him, and he gets hurt again.
Can't make it up, Trent. You can't make it up.
It's like, hey, your guy just got hurt from running the ball, so let's maybe not do that. And then they let him run it again, and he gets hurt, and he's done.
Then you got Andy Dalton, another okay game, 25 out of 40, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, but they did lose, but they did compete with finally, the Bengals get a win.
That's a weird group too.
Yeah.
They look so good sometimes, and other times it's like these dudes don't even know what they're doing.
I think Big Mo, if I'm not mistaken, I think defense is the issue with them, isn't it?
Yeah, and I don't think Burrow has been really good. I mean, he wasn't bad
Yeah,
last night or yesterday.
right.
He got Jamar Chase got going a little bit, right? But again, yeah. I mean, Carolina scored 24 against them, so
Yeah.
probably defense.
Yeah, I think people aren't too pleased with the defense in Cincinnati this year.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else, guys, NFL wise? Raiders.
Fields was good again.
Who's that?
Justin Fields,
Yeah, he was.
22 of 34, 312 yards and a touchdown.
Big Mo, your man.
How about those Commanders?
Yeah.
Yeah, Daniels might be
Jaden
a
Daniels,
stud.
man.
He might be a
Like
stud.
he's like the CJ Stroud from last year.
He was 26 of 30 last night.
Unreal. And I think what was he the week before? Like 21 and 23?
Yeah, he might be really good.
Certainly accurate.
Yeah, other than that,
How much Browns lose again.
Ravens got back on track. That's where I'd
Yep.
like it to be. And
Yep.
Chief Charger game was close. Chargers blew a late last possession. I think they had a chance to score and before the Chiefs scored, but
Yeah, that game was boring.
Chargers got
and
some issues on offense. They're not,
run.
yeah, they're not putting points on the board. Um, Justin Herbert, 16 out of 27, 179 yards and a touchdown. What happened to J.K. Dobbins, man? Week one, he had
I know
about,
he had a couple good weeks, and now they're
yeah,
not a whole lot going on from him.
yeah. Adjustments, maybe, scouting, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, 14 rushes for 32 yards.
Probably the fact that they don't have any receivers to throw to. You don't really
True.
have to guard. You can probably play a lot more zone against those type of teams or man up, and now you put one extra in the box to stop the run game. So
Yeah.
I couldn't name any of those receivers that San Diego threw to.
No, Palmer and McConkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. J.K. Dobbins
It's-
had 3 receptions as well.
yeah.
Not a whole lot going on over there.
Ew, not a lot of big names there.
No.
Looks like the Michigan receiving crew.
We'll talk about that tomorrow. Oh, Jiminy Christmas.
Yikes.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that Michigan game for tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll talk more college football. But hey, let's last thing, guys. Unfortunate news in the world of sports, in the world of basketball, college basketball. Georgetown Hoya legend, NBA legend Dikembe Mutumbo passes away at the young age of 58 today. Um, Apparently had brain cancer. I don't believe I had heard that. Were you guys aware of that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, I think they announced it like 2 years ago, so I did
Okay.
not recall hearing that, but
Yeah. Okay.
obviously,
So
obviously a legend of the game, right?
yeah,
Global influence.
from the Congo. Yep.
Yeah,
He did a
Um,
lot of good stuff for the Congo too, didn't he? Didn't he
yes.
give he gave back a lot to where he was from, which is awesome.
Right. But
I think.
yeah,
Oh, go ahead. What do you got, Kurt?
I
What
was
do you
just
got?
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I just think about all the different interviews. You never saw him in like a bad mood. Like he
True.
was always like
True.
this, just kind of like,
Happy go lucky.
yeah,
Yeah.
happy dude who's just, glad to be playing basketball and
Yeah.
waving his finger and calling it good.
Yeah. Loved them at Georgetown. I mean, that was back in the era when Georgetown was so good every year. Just really good. Making the tournament every year, making runs. He kind of sandwiched, which is interesting, kind of sandwiched, the middle of three great centers that Georgetown had, starting with Patrick Ewing in the mid 80s, and then um, Dikembe Mutombo followed up then right after that with Alonzo Mourning. Um,
Oh yeah.
so 1991 first round pick by the Nuggets, fourth overall. I remember his upper deck card that year, his rookie card for upper deck in the lottery pick. And then really good with the Nuggets. In fact, Big Mo, trying you might were you even born then? Maybe.
Uh, 93. I was born.
Okay, so
I
I can't
didn't
remember
watch a whole lot of them.
one of his first couple of years in the league. They were the eighth seed and they upset the number one seed Seattle Seahawks or Seattle Supersonics in the playoffs. Supersonics had Gary Payton and Sean Kemp, another great NBA duo. Um, I just think of him more so just watching watching him in college at Georgetown. Just college basketball is so awesome back then.
Hmm. Yeah, he's such an elite shot blocker too. Just everything around the rim was his.
Yeah, that was definitely his thing for sure in the NBA was defense, rebounding, and definitely blocking shots given the whole
Though.
yeah. Funny story too. He was the one that if you guys have ever seen that famous clip of Michael Jordan, I think it was Mutombo's rookie year, and Michael Jordan's at the free throw line, looks at Mutombo and says something about, "Hey, I'm going to shoot this one with my eyes closed." And Jordan shoots the free throw with his eyes closed and hits it.
I
Really?
didn't know that. I forgot that was with like against Matumbo.
Yeah, yeah, look that up. That's a pretty good clip. So, uh,
Well, that's just, yeah, if
yeah,
you're gonna end with that, you got to end with the clip where Jordan dunks over him, not to give Mutombo a
yes,
little bit of, and then he gives him the
yeah,
Jordan gives him the finger wave.
yeah,
That,
yeah.
that was pretty sweet too. Come on.
I guess I didn't realize. Eight-time NBA All-Star. I knew he was. I mean, I remember him being solid in the NBA, but not quite as dominant as what he was or the player he was in college. But in his 18, 19-year career, eight-time All-Star, um, four-time Defensive Player of the Year. That's not surprising. In fact, I thought maybe he would have more Defensive Player of the Year. Um, Led the league in rebounding twice, three times led the league in blocks. So again, he was on that end of the floor. He was pretty dang dominant.
It's a guy you'd love to have on your team.
Yeah. Just finished his career averaging just under a double double, 9.8 points, 10.3 rebounds.
Solid.
So, Rest in peace, Dikembe Mutumbo. Sad news and sad day in the world of basketball. One of the great all-time players, great legend, and like Big Mo mentioned, just an all-around great guy. Trent, you mentioned all that he's done for his home country of Congo, the Congo. So big loss, guys, big loss. All right, anything else NFL wise, guys, for today's show? Detroit Tigers wise?
I don't think so.
No, looking forward to those black and Honolulu blue helmets.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
Good, should be a good look tonight.
yeah, those are sweet.
Can you imagine how Ford Field is gonna be rocking? Oh,
Rocking.
guys, we can still get there by kickoff if we left right now.
Sure.
Standing room only.
October 27th, I'll be there.
Oh, who they playing?
No clue.
Okay.
Just know I'm going.
Just going that game. I know I'm going that game.
October
See you tomorrow.
27th.
October 27th. I don't know who is that the Titans? Maybe it's the Titans.
Ugh.
Well, at least hopefully you'll see a win.
Oh yeah.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.